How's it going, everybody? Akibana Zero here, back with a Volume 8 review. Today we are going to be talking about Chapter 3 titled Strings. The video is filled with spoilers. I'm analyzing the show. I'm talking about things that happened in Chapter 3 as well as things that happened in previous chapters. So if you're not caught up with RWBY and you don't want spoilers, don't watch the video. But if you're fine with that, hang out. That's pretty okay. So right off the bat, I want to say that I loved the way this episode was paced and how it had a healthy balance of nice, happy things and action and the dark things that we all know are coming. I think this was pretty good at this stage because we've already had 2 episodes that have been kind of, taking a bit of a nosedive in tone. Not that RWBY has been a very happy show this whole time, but it has been quite dark this whole time. But it seems like we're hitting, can we say peak dark, or I don't know, valley, whatever. I think it was good to have an episode like this because that, first, on the one hand, that kind of, relieves us a little bit that it's not all just going to be crying and tears and darkness and sadness and all of that. It's not going to be all gloom and doom. The moment that hit me the most, obviously, was that Ironwood is working with Arthur, which is not something that completely surprised me, but still I was not entirely happy to see, because on the one hand, yes, I understand he has Arthur at gunpoint, but even still, does the hero really need to use the sneaky tricks of the bad guy in order to get what they want? It seems that is where Ironwood is willing to go at this point, even though he tried to manipulate Penny to bring her back so he can go and get the relic through her maiden powers. He failed, so he's now taking another measure, which is to use Arthur to get what he wants. And I feel that this is where Ironwood is really going to start going into that deep, dark hole where he's probably not going to be able to come back from, or he's going to need some really heavy redemption. Because I don't think that they want Ironwood to just go out without any redemption. I mean, he's been a very important character. He's been very critical towards the cause of fighting Salem, even though he's always been by the books, or he's always been like this very rigid character, very military-like. I kind of feel that he's always done this for the right reasons, but now I feel with the way that things are going, he's definitely going to lose some of those good reasons to do what he's doing. And working with Arthur just kind of cements that. I felt that the fight that we had in this episode was pretty okay, pretty standard fare. I mean, we got to see Penny attempt to use her powers. We can see that she's not quite used to using those powers yet. So she's doing a few basic things, so to speak, and manages towards the end to unleash a bigger burst of energy. So that kind of tells me that she is still feeling things out when it comes to her powers. And I kind of think it begs a bit of a question. Is there a limitation to how much of these powers she can use, considering that she's not a living being? And that is also something for us to look forward to concerning the lore behind the maiden powers, because those are still also kind of shrouded in mystery for us as well. The other thing that I thought was very nice in this episode was Nora. And not just from the fact that Nora is, again, kind of talking about Ren, but also how she is feeling now that she doesn't know her place in the world without Ren. She doesn't know herself without Ren, the person that she's spent pretty much all of her life with. And I like what Weiss told her, is that now is your opportunity to discover who you are without Ren, which is an interesting thing to say when you're thinking in the context of them being a team that is going towards one ideal. Makes you wonder just how much of herself she's really going to discover. But I like that idea overall about her, and I like that we get to see her get developed a bit more, because that's the thing about about Team Juniper minus Pyrrha, is that we have been able to see them kind of develop a little bit, but we haven't seen too much of it. And I think like these little injections of showing us Nora's development is a nice direction to go into for these characters. I mean, Team RWBY's always kind of been the focal point, but it's nice to see these guys also getting a little bit of development. Now, on the other hand, that kind of also speaks about how things are going to develop with Ren, because whenever you're talking about Nora, you're also talking about Ren, and you can't. It's very hard to separate those two from their own context, right? Because if Nora is discovering who she is, and Ren right now is having his doubts, and again is struggling with his emotions, which is also a thing about Ren. It kind of says, it kind of gives me a few ideas on how this could go in the story. On the one hand, Nora could discover who she is, and then ultimately she and Ren might have to separate from each other, or maybe just not be together anymore. On the other hand, it could also mean that their bond is strengthened, or it could also even mean that the way, based on the direction of the episode so far, that they might even clash with each other. There's a lot of ways that this could go, and depending on how much drama they want to get out of this, we're going to have to see which direction they actually take. I thought that the whole stealth mission of walking through the base was pretty interesting. I like the cloaking ability very much. I like that they were able to use this cloaking ability to walk through the base and in order to go and get what they needed. It's nice to see other characters' abilities come into play this way, and it was really fun to see Penny be the quirky robot once again, telling everybody which way to go by seeing the matrix and just mapping out the whole place, and then giving them like very quick directions as though they can follow her. And the explanation about RWBY's powers was absolutely hilarious. I thought that was one of the best parts of the episode. Very funny, very, very quirky. That's the kind of RWBY that I really, really enjoy. I also liked some of the bits with Blake. And I read somewhere that now that Blake is kind of able to, sort of be herself a bit more, she's starting to have a little bit of that sass. Like she was just pointing out to RWBY how she didn't know how her powers actually worked until Penny pointed it out, which I thought that was priceless. And I'm glad that they're giving us a few of these little moments now in this episode, because I think this is kind of what makes RWBY what it is, what makes it a really, really fun show. The whole Pietro thing, hacking into Penny to, do the thing, which is very reminiscent of some other anime and movies with cyberpunk in them, with the robot that can, very quickly do the calculations on the computer and stuff. That was great stuff. And I like this idea that there might be some kind of hacking battle between Pietro and Arthur over control of Penny. And it's very interesting how the episode is titled Strings. And there's that very symbolic way that Penny's blade gets taken from her by cutting off the string, the string that attaches the blade to her back. Also showing that, we're going to sever the tie that you have, and we're slowly going to build our own web within you and take you over. Overall, I think this is a pretty strong episode. Had a lot of nice little moments injected into it. Not very huge in the sense like boom, big revelations and big battles and all that, but I thought that it was a solid episode. It had a nice balance of a lot of cool things in it, and there's so much for us now to look forward to. We need to see what's going to happen to Oscar. It's been taken by the Hound, and we need to see what is going to happen with Crow. And now that Penny has left and she's off on her way to be safe so that nobody can use her seemingly to take the relic, that we're going to have to see how that plays out as well, because maybe that wasn't the wisest of ideas to let Penny just, go off on her own with Maria. Anyway, overall, I love this episode. How did you feel about it, though? Do you agree with my points? Did you think that it was a fun episode? Did you enjoy the moments? What was your favorite moment? Sound off in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed the review, please leave the video a like and subscribe to my channel because it helps a lot. And if you want, you can also follow me on twitch.tv/Akibana0, where I stream every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, 8:30 p.m. UK time. That's going to do it for this review, guys. And I'm going to see you in the reaction or whatever other video. Bye-bye.